Your lucky arteries.
Just heaven.
I like the little pie-type thing with the braised meat in it and the little diced vegetables. I think it's really tasty. It's got a real sort of nice sticky taste to it.
It's very sticky, isn't it?
And but it's less fatty than... I remember the last time it was a lot fattier.
I complained about it, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's much better. You know, there's a lot of very nice flavours going on here this time.
And the vegetables are very minty and fresh.
There's this beautiful, smooth onion puree, which is, again, a sort of classic accompaniment, but it's been and done such a refined way, it becomes part of the sauce.
And the morels, you know, they have that wonderful sponge-like ability to soak up everything. And they've soaked up the gravy. It's delicious.
For my money, this is probably the best representation we've had of a producer dish. Honestly, this has been... The producer is so enormously well represented on this, in this dish.
When I first ate this dish, there seemed to be in a sort of... not a black hole, but a sort of vacuum at its heart, and that was the loin. Remember, to me, it had absolutely no flavour at all. And I don't know what he's done, but this loin is an absolutely sort of perfect piece of meat cookery.
I think it's a very accomplished dish. I think, you know, it's a chef who understands flavour, first and foremost, and it's something, is the most important thing in cookery, flavour.
Yeah, I think it's great.
It's lovely.
Great, lovely. Well done, Alan.
Right then, gents, the man himself, we have the Hoggett's dish. Oh, look at that.
So, will his rivals in the prep room be as impressed as the judges?
But I think this would be a very suitable dish for Prince of Wales, because obviously the Prince of Wales Welsh lamb.
The mint's really nice in the sauce. I just got that.
I like a bit more fat on the loin, to be honest. It's almost a bit lean.
Yeah.
I think one of the criteria that the judges are going to be looking at is are we going to be able to replicate that dish for 100? And for that, I don't know if we are.
No, I think we'll struggle with that one.
Alad's a very, very, very good cook, and I must say I'm very, very impressed. For me, he gets a real good score of 8.
I loved this dish. I think Aled has done Wales proud. Every part of that hogget is just so beautifully prepared. And not alone is that parcel delicious, for me it's the chop. That little chop is just fantastic. It's 8.
You're right, that dish has enormously improved. The puree was just crackingly good, and I'm giving it an 8.
The flavour had improved enormously over the first time, particularly in the loin. And the chop, Oliver, you're right about that chop. I would eat that chop to the grave, and for that reason, I'm going to give it an 8.
A good score for Aled, but whether it's good enough, he'll just have to wait and see. Finally, it's the turn of the South West's Nathan Outlaw to prove his lamb dish is a cut above all the rest. He's a well-renowned fish chef who lived up to his reputation yesterday when he made the top 3. But can he produce the same high standard in the main course?
No, I really liked Nathan's dish. I thought it had lovely deep flavours.
I still think it needs, in order to lift it to that pinnacle which we need for the banquet, I still think there's a lot of work involved.
He's done a great job on sourcing, but in an effort to wow the judges, he's making some changes to his dish. He's swapping the hogget loin for a lamb cutlet, replacing the bubble and squeak with mashed potato and adding a sweetbread pudding.
Does it bother you a bit that they haven't seen this dish before?
Well, they've seen the intention before, but the intention wasn't right.
But Aled's not sure the sweetbread pudding is right for a summer dish.
Whether it'll be quite heavy, whether I'll make it a wintry dish, I'll find out when I actually see what he's doing.
Nathan's not only changing some elements of his dish, he's also changing the way he's cooking his meat.
I'm not going to use the water bath today, but I'm going to cook mine traditionally in the oven.
And do you think this technique will make it a winning dish?
Yeah, I think it will. It's going to be a big improvement for me anyway. You want to get loads and loads of flavour in there.
But trying out new techniques in the final is a risky business, as Nathan discovers when the oven fails to reach the required temperature. And Ken is straight in the kitchen to offer a few words of wisdom.
How are we getting on? Yeah, all right. I'm just a bit worried about this oven, actually.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to keep away from these ones, to be honest. I had a bit of a bad experience last year. Should have used a water bath. Safer.
That's so nice, Kenny. Cheers.
And when it's time to remove the meat, all his rivals gather round to find out if using the oven has ruined Nathan's lamb.
Are you a little bit nervous?
I am, actually. I haven't done this for a long time. It'll all come down to how this is cooked, I think.
Looking good, looking good.
Thankfully for Nathan, it's a success. So he begins to assemble his plate. He pipes his garlic mash, lays his sweetbread pudding, places the hogget belly on top, adds some asparagus, and finishes with a lamb cutlet, broad beans and a mint sauce and jelly.
Last dish of the day.
Yeah, I can breathe again now. I have real problems when it comes to the last bit. Main course done now. I'm very relieved, actually. I mean, the last sort of 5 minutes of doing that, it's almost like gives you a heart attack.
It's a beast.
That sort of presentation, I like it because it looks as if it just happened. It looks casual and unfussy, yeah.
Put a little jelly alongside the breast.
I really like the seasoning on the breast. I think
You can really taste the cure on that breast.
Mash is delicious.
I think when you penetrate the flavours, you're very well rewarded here, aren't you? It's
This is the sweetbread pudding.
I love the pudding, too, with a
love
bit
the
of
pudding.
jelly on top.
It's so delicate.
yeah.
I think this dish is really, really, really good. Mash is fantastic. It's got hogget. It's got a great flavour.
What about the chop?
I love the chop.
See, I find that the chop is any part of this slightly lets it down. Everything else has such a sort of precise, clean flavour.
In terms of provenance, I think he really has shown off this lamb to its fullest extent. It's shown off his skill. I think it's quite creative. I get a sense of his personality in this dish.
It's a dish what I'd be happy to see in a banquet, and I'm pretty damn sure that Prince Charles would eat that with relish and say, yeah, you know, this is a fantastic bit of cookery.
So it sounds as if Nathan's dish has a good chance of making it into the top 3. But what do the other chefs think?
Absolutely delicious. This is possibly the most flavoursome paint I've had all afternoon. Flavour after flavour after flavour after flavour. It's absolutely stunning.
The mash on this for me is beautiful.
The mash is just stunning.
It's a different beast
So
altogether.
smooth. My biggest concern with this dish is the fact that I don't fit into the top 3 now. You know, you go, that is an amazing, amazing dish.
Now, time for the final score of the day.
I couldn't quite bring myself to reconcile the hogget of the breast and the chop, and it just seemed to work. So I've actually marked him down to a 7.
I thought it was a really hugely improved dish, and mostly I loved the way it looked. So I'm going to give it an 8.
No, I just thought it was a great, great dish, and it was a dish I would happily see at the banquet. And for that, I'm going to give it a 8.
It had everything for me. You know, I love the jelly, I love the sweetbreads, but most of all, I love that breast. And for that reason, it's a big 9.
Nerves have been jangling all day, but the wait for the judge's verdict is the most anxious time of all.
The standards today have been really right up with those of yesterday.
The level of cooking is top-notch.
I've been in the judging chamber twice this week, and both times I've experienced extreme disappointment. So tonight, when I go in for the 3rd time, I'll be happy to take anything apart from 8th and experience that again.
The market has been really tight today, and that's given us several contenders which could actually go through to the banquet, which is probably just as well. We have to wait until after the puddings tomorrow before we actually choose the final menu, and it gives us some sort of flexibility when we do put together that menu together.
I've got butterflies going around in my stomach. Yes, I want it to be top 3. Yes, I want it up there. I am confident it can get there.
I think it's time we got those poor chefs in here and put them out of their misery.
The judges have added up their marks and ranked the chefs. Now they're about to find out if their dish was good enough to make it into today's top 3.
Welcome back, chefs. Tell me, has it been as testing a day in the kitchen as it has been in here? Well, I must say, I have to congratulate you on really having built on the standards that you set yourself yesterday. I mean, I think you really threw down the gauntlet to yourselves, and you certainly threw it down for us in here.
Yeah, it's tough. I know all your legs are shaking now, because mine certainly was, and it's much easier this side, so don't let them kid you it's not.
As you know, this is a competition, and we've been marking steadily through the day, and we've aggregated the scores, and I'm now going to announce the results, the rankings in reverse order. In 8th place, it's Alan.
Alan, I think that was a hugely courageous try. but I don't think you pulled it off. First of all, the beef wasn't quite as good as I thought it should be. There were too many morels. The mash wasn't perfect. I thought it was really disappointing. Were you pleased with it?
No.
What a relief.
In 7th place is Kenny.
The feeling was a little bit wintry. Was it maybe just a touch too heavy for the banquet in summer?
No, can't argue with it. Can't argue with that whatsoever.
In 6th place, it's Will.
Will, you're moving up there, aren't you?
That's great news. I didn't want a hat trick of 8.
The problem was the crown. You know, the crown just drooped, basically. You know, the level of competition is so fierce, and so many dishes have improved so much that that's what it took. What do you feel?
No, I couldn't agree more.
In 5th place, it's going to be Niall.
My only complaint was that the bone marrow was a little bit raw in the middle, cold and sort of fatty, and it was very garlicky, overpoweringly garlicky.
What can I say? Take it on the chin, but that's it. Can't say anything.
As you know, we've been announcing the top 3 chefs for each course so that we have total flexibility when we come to plan the banquet menu. So we've now reached the 4th place. And the chefs remaining are Aled, Lisa, Nathan and Tom. Now, who's going to be the one who misses out on that top 3? Well, there's going to be no 4th place because we had a tie so that all 4 of you are still in the running to cook your main course at the banquet. So, congratulations to all 4 of you.
Aled, I have to say, I think that your hogget, it was a transformed dish. I think you've done Wales proud. I still think the chop is the best bit. That's the money shot on that dish for me.
So it's a dish I really, really enjoy cooking. Yeah, really happy with the dish.
And Lisa, that onion bhaji, none of us will ever forget it. It was absolutely amazing. And the salt marsh lamb was beautiful. You must have been thrilled with that dish, Lisa.
I was very pleased with it. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Nathan, you went the whole hogget, I'd say. It was a stupendous dish, really. I think you did your animal proud.
I'm glad I've done it justice.
Tom, the duck was just absolutely fantastic the way you cooked that. And then the salad with the crispy leg and the way that eats, it drags the whole dish into summer and really packs a punch.
Worked a little harder on it today. I'm glad it showed through.
Well, tomorrow, the last day, pudding day, the final opportunity for one of you to claim that last spot on the menu, which we'll be choosing at the end of the day. So very good luck to you. Have a really good night's sleep. Come back fighting fit tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Well done.
So, for 4 chefs, it's a great result. But for some, there's still work to do.
I need to get into the top 3 tomorrow, and that's the only thing on my agenda tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning I'll probably just keep my head down, keep quiet if I can. I'll just try and deliver the best dish I can.
Pudding tomorrow, so it's my last chance. If I don't get in tomorrow, that's me.
Now there's only one more chance to get a dish into the top 3. Tomorrow, it's dessert.
Kenny, that looks very regal.
Pretty similar to mine as well, isn't it, really?
That robbing little...
Kenny's just robbed Lisa's idea.
And it's the moment of truth. The judges will announce which 4 dishes have made it to the final banquet.
That's it. No, I like that. That's a winner.
Are you happy?
Yes.
The great British menu, it's done.
Coming up, actor Michael Sheen's On the One show over on BBC One now. Here on 2, the crowning glory of 50s TV. 20 million people watched the coronation next. And on BBC 3, Smithy and Uncle Bryn, a.k.a. James Corden and Rob Brydon, are stars in the cars for Top Gear.